Should I go to seminary and do theology, too? It seems natural to meet God and become more religious, but I don't think it's a grace given to anyone. I think about it a lot when I have an experience that the Holy Spirit God came to me. Do I have to go to the seminary, too? Should I study theology, too? Perhaps that's why there are many people coming to the seminary, because they want to study theology, even though it's not the pastor's call. Exploring and wanting to know is not a bad thing, so it's possible, and I want to see it in a positive light rather than a negative light. But our illusion is that it makes us think, me, too. More than once in our heated faith. Think about it first. God never says that I will give you a chance for a while, but if you don't answer within a week or a year, I won't use you. God is much more relaxed than humans think. People around us, too, can be easily identified only by the figures in the Bible. The representative person is Moses in Exodus. He is established as a tremendous leader of the people after 40 years in the palace, 40 years in the desert, and 80 years in preparation. It's a terrible period just thinking about it. Who likes to be used when they're old and ready until they're old? Calling is divided into calling as a general layman and calling as a missionary or pastor. Calling doesn't necessarily prove everything. Calling is pure grace that God meets and experiences me. But the reason why we call it this separately is that when God entrusts me with something, it becomes possible to express it. Even in the world of shamanism, the calling of God means a special mission. But the big difference is that there's only one Christian God, but there's also a lot of different gods in the shamanic world. The reason why I don't only talk about Christianity is that around us, we meet people of shamanism and other religions. Integrated into the world of religious shamanism, God's call means that God gives a special request or calling to a human being. So there can be a wide variety of calls in that call. In Christianity, calling comes first with external calling. This is God's preparatory work, as I said earlier. He first gives me the feeling of awakening myself through other people. Sometimes they give me the same message over and over again. Then people start to struggle with the burdensome call of God. Here, there are people who run away like Jonah in the Bible, and like many characters in the Bible who actively lower themselves. Moses, send someone who can send in Exodus chapter 4. As God says, there is Aaron, your brother who speaks well. Jeremiah, I'm still young, so I don't know how to speak. The prophet Isaiah is also a man of unclean lips in chapter 6. Peter, leave me, Lord. I am a sinner. There's a variety, of course. I'm surprised inside because God, who appeared in the characters of the Bible, appears in me. The shape and content of the call are different for each person. But the same thing is, it's an internal call that came to me personally. And you have to realize that this is the beginning of an internal call. And you have to take the time to ask God what the calling is about. What does God want from me? Is there anything you want from me?